Hello and welcome. This is Diana and you are watching Holistic Vibes. This is going to be probably more than likely a clearing and a shift in frequency. So bear with me and let's see kind of what's been coming up or what you need to like kind of lean into, right? It says a heart of infinity, desire, a soul's journey. Our world has a heartbeat, both steady and sweet. At times, we don't hear it. It is so discreet. Listen, all restrictions you shall defeat. Right? So, for any of you that are kind of in there being impeded or like all of a sudden, okay, got it. Thank you. Okay, so anybody who has kind of felt like your reality has been like against you from day one, right? Whatever it was, however it was, I'm getting clearly like that it was an impeding process of your intuitive gifts, right? And you've done something up until this point to kind of shift your reality or your cognitive awareness, right? And I don't know why, but like they've been kind of reiterating a program that took place like in the 80s in schools in the United States, right? Cognitive awareness, going through and like shifting your reality the way that maybe something, a class was kind of preached or told, right? Like there was this impression that maybe you were a bad student or you couldn't pay attention or you had ants in your pants or you were super gifted, right? And there's like, or they were super gifted and you're not. It's kind of like there was a force split in like your awareness or the way that you perceive the way you learn, or like it's kind of like an impediment in your own soul's journey. So if you have felt like you just don't fit, if you feel like you're stupid, if you feel like you're overtly sensitive, if you have not been able to find your own voice, if you've had like shit jobs your entire life and for some reason everything good happens to other people and it doesn't happen to you, this message is for you, right? Because I'm going to pull off some layers and we're going to do a couple of activations, I think. That's kind of like the pull or the push that I'm feeling as I'm like sitting here. It's kind of, and I'm looking for another card deck, so bear with me. Um, yeah, that's the one. Okay. So I was not planning on using this deck, but like, let's go. Uh, So just take a deep breath. If you haven't grounded yet for my readings, definitely ground your energy. Throw a new cord of connection to the core of the earth. If you don't know how to do that, there are tons of people who know how to do that or can teach you that. You can pause and like take a moment to ground your energy, right? Uh, okay, so somebody's been asking for guidance, for internal guidance. Through like you've been having dreams, maybe you've been being impeded in your dreams, right? For any of you who are extrasensory, like you have any of your clairs online, or you have like full cognitive awareness, you fully like know who you're supposed to be aligning with. I don't need to tell you that. It's kind of like you already know, specifically who is in your dreams, right? The big thing is that you're not waiting, that you're not allowing yourself to be in a state of inner turmoil or in a state of inner, like they're saying disluge, and I don't know what that even means. But something that's keeping you from getting into like your true abundance of like where you're supposed to be at. And so I just kind of want to reiterate for you guys, like, this is going to be like a healing, right? And the thing is it's like they're kind of, I want you to understand that, like, the who you are is essentially the what people have manipulated your energy into being. If you can read thoughts, if you are fully cognitive aware, if your vibrational frequency was already ninth dimension when you incarnated, right? Because you pick the DNA, you pick the gifts, you pick the psychic abilities. And it's in honoring of the journey up into here and the false realities that they've pushed onto you, right? It's kind of like, when you finally realize, like your parents more than likely were fucking scared of you as a kid because, like, you knew things that were not said, right? Like, you knew everything. And that can be a big burden to bear in the process of, like, of growing up, right? Especially if you have an environment that is maybe not as savory as the white picket fence and in the normal of things, right? So that can create a lot of isolation and a lot of aloneness through the process, right? Because you're just trying to maneuver and be in a state of neutrality. And so this balancing act has probably taken a toll on your nervous system, right? And if so, you can just say yes and honor the journey up until here. And then what I want to do is I want to break all ties of anybody and anything that has been afflicting and impacting your way of manifesting, right? So if there's any cords of attachments, if there are any anchors, lures, impediments, tracking devices, honing devices, if there is anything spiritually that is affecting not only the physical form, but all the way up through the ka, I want to clear all of those fields and just say yes. And you're just ready to fully release whatever has been entirely programming you up until this point, right? And it's time to lay down, like, new blueprints and new perspectives of honoring, like, that all of the shit that you've been told is not who you are. You're not stupid. You're not dumb. You are cognitively enlightened. You are fully active. And I know you guys know this, but there's something in the seed of the soul that is still holding on to these old threads of connections. Again, it can be because of the way it was programmed in there, right? If somebody had access to the back door of the program and they slipped in a little sliver that constantly kept you impeded, right? Because that's how these satanic agendaed individuals are essentially keeping you incarnating in a lower perspective or paradigm, right? And you honor the game, you honor the what they do, but you bring it into the light and you say, I see you, right? And once you understand your own ability to manifest and create on this reality, and you are no longer tethered or tied to anyone or anything that is impeding you. It's not removing yourself from the collective consciousness, right? But it's you stepping forward into your own divine, like, what you want versus, like, the what you've been manifesting, right? And you understand, like, your frequencies are so potent. They're so fucking potent that, like, everybody and their mother, the minute that you get on a high vibe, is like, whoa, what is that beaming white light, you know? And they can feel your frequency shift in your emanation. And so that's why it's really important for you. Every time you dip, you've got to clearly ask, like, is this mine or does this belong to something outside of me? If it's something outside of you, you tell it, get the fuck out of my field. Get out of my mind. Get out of my vibrational frequency. I am a high vibrational being. You reinstill everything that you stated, that you are wisdom, that you are power, that you are a divine teacher, that you walk in full fight faith, that you expect miracles every single day. And you literally are shifting your reality because your voice is so potent. Your energy is so potent. Even if you guys are living at the lowest vibration that you possibly can live right now, even if you're shattered because the reality that you thought is not that reality at all, right? When you look to people in fame and fortune, and you understand that they just don't want to be poor anymore either, right? So they're willing to do the things that they do to get them out of that reality. They just decided to take the shortcut, right? Which in all ends, there is no shortcut, right? Because they still have to look at themselves in the mirror every day. And so, like, through this rebirthing of the new phase, right? The old you is fully going to die. Like, part of this year of the snake, and who knows, maybe some of you are out there finally shedding the last little bit of like the things that you've been holding on to that have been keeping you in old paradigm, whether it's like the vibrational frequency of your body, whether it's like the what you're speaking into existence, the how you're building in the reality, right? You're still out there showing up every single day, but you're being in a state of exhaustion, in a state of not knowing why things have not changed yet, right? And so maybe this eclipse is kind of like revisiting the last tiers of what you've been holding on to or wanting to release. And they just said it's just like when Moses found the staff of truth, right? Or it's like he could command fire, he could part the seas, like he was that which was unto itself, right? And to me, this kind of looks like where has the devil kind of essentially kept you stuck and stagnant? Where have the thoughts that you've been creating, although you've been in your highest vibration, or although you've been operating out of the vibration of truth, why have you not seen movement? And the thing is if without action, without motion, without like forward progression, there is no ability to allow truth to inlay out, right? You're not opening for the possibilities. And so like through the frequencies of like you shifting into like, what is it that brings you fire? What is it that like sets you ablaze? Like, what is it that your heart truly desires? And like through those inflections, I think there's like a receptivity of like, honoring the journey up until now. You're kind of seeing between the veil of like what belongs to you, what is actual truth, right? Because a lot of you are kind of looking at the upper echelon or the impediment of like the upper echelon and realizing that like the same things that happened during Egyptian times or Roman times or Greek times, like they've all done the same shit because they only have the ability to hold on into particular vibrational frequencies, right? And to do the same old things. And so, maybe that is an alarming thing to kind of come into the reality of, damn, all of this is truth, right? Or you can't hide a lie, right? And so maybe there was some kind of a binding or a misnomer. I don't know, of like what is it that fills your cup, that is your energy, that is your frequency, like something having to do with like the vibrational frequency of love and divine justice. There is some kind of a balance that is coming forward through, if some of you have not, it's the lovers again, it's if some of you have not found your it's kind of weird because they're like, there is some kind of an impediment out of love, out of abundance, that some kind of something wonderful is going to be like falling into place for you. It's kind of like once you recalibrate and understand that like you are not the vibrational frequencies of the past, right? Those were just all limitations to keep you bound and to keep you stuck and to keep you cuffed to where you could not step into your vibrational frequency of alignment through your psychic gifts, right? Like, again, I'm talking to like indigos, I'm talking to crystallines, I'm talking to, if you resonate with like star family, if you understand that your higher soul, higher self, Holy Spirit is like activated within you, and that you are walking in that divine light, right? Like maybe some of you have had visions of like your inner self being large and blue. And it's not just Avatar, right? Like again, there are implants that are happening, through, they're showing me Hollywood, but it's honestly, it's all media, because you have to think, right? What arm of the media is that? And what are they attempting to control? And again, they're bringing me back to, baseline programming of like the things that you believed were your truth, but were actually implanted truths to keep you in a lower paradigm. And so like, just honor that. And if that is your reality, we are just going to, break through any impediments, and we are going to step into the vibrational frequency of awe and wonder, and inspiration, and honor like where your chakras were blocked and how they are actually recalibrating. And over the next 72 hours, maybe you will be called to want to fast. You can do water fast, coffee fast, but I would say fast from like food, from like juices and that kind of stuff. Like stick to water. And then really like jot down specifically, like if you trust it right now. There, it's all about divine full faith. Like for those of you that have been like ho hum, like nothing ever works out for me, like this is specifically for you so that you can break into a brand new paradigm. It's time for you to release the shackles and the impediments of things that you didn't even realize were put in your place. I mean, hell, it could have been your parents. It could have been your grandparents. It could have been a teacher. It could have been a fake teacher, right? Like there's something in regards to the way that you daydream, in the way that you create, in the way that you are like creating your reality. Like it's hypnotic. It is transcendental. Like just the way your mind works and the way your soul has chosen to take on this journey. Like there is some kind of an elevation in your evolution, right? And like through this, again, they're saying like there's a shift in regards to you going from like passive aggressive ho hum, like nothing ever works in my favor, like people are not on my side, like what do I need to do, down and out, right? And it's you stepping into your impulsive, like following of the impulse, your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, like the way that you are manifesting openly, like you are the creative spark, like, and through your, they're saying it's a precognition. It's your understanding cause and effect and like the way the energy cycles and moves. And once you understand like what brings in the tower or how the devil operates, it's seeing like all phases. And it's not even like the devil, like the energy of the devil, right? It's the understanding of like, yeah, I'm ready for the fight. Let's go. Like divine feminine energy is like stepping into like the seeing more than meets the eye. It's seeing through the illusion, the disillusion of like the impediments of the fake false narratives. Like shit just stops resonating with you, right? And once you finally wake up and you smell toxicity and you smell things that are unauthentic, like you don't move in the same way anymore. You open to and gravitate to people who are in residence of you, right? And for me, I've always been able to smell bullshit. Like I've been able to like say, I like this person. I don't like this person. I don't know what it is, but there's something in them that just doesn't resonate with me. Right. And so like maybe you're exactly the same way. And so through this process of like whatever you're like releasing now, right? Where you're no longer hiding your voice, where you're no longer hiding your truth, where you're not pretending to be, like mild and meek. It's kind of like you're stepping into like your ideas. You're stepping into like the way that you vibrate with your angels, right? You're vibrating with like the who is for you and who is not for you, right? And so like as you're doing that, you're claiming like the subtleties, and the subtleties are like being like these mass ripples in this pool, this tide pool of awareness. And it's like you step into your power, and then all of a sudden you're creating instantaneously. You're no longer having to learn the lessons of another or of the past. It's like you just hold your ability, and as you're transposing, like as you take the negative polarities and you pull the negative polarities into positive polarities, you are then now rewriting a fight. You're rewriting the awareness, right? When you fully access your inner being, your higher self, you move differently in the world, right? You realize like that you can pull the energy to you in a different, they're saying it's like a fractal, a fraction. There's some kind of that you're able to like dial it in to the energetic frequencies. Maybe by you being by water, it's gonna help, right? But like because you're not doing this work, this pulling and shifting of energy, or this realization that you were pushed with a version of you that isn't even you, or had limiting beliefs instilled on purpose because they were so scared of your intuitive gifts. It's not that you couldn't learn. It's that they implanted the fact that you couldn't learn because you were too fucking smart. It's probably like if you were to take or look at your IQ information as a kid, you probably scored off the Rector like, oh, they're showing me like a neurodivergency. And so like if you, and I feel like I'm screaming, like, and it like tonal, there's like this shift. Anything else? If you guys are having troubles with finances, let's go ahead and remove those blocks. Oh, we already removed those blocks. Okay, so then let's go ahead and put in new codes to activate financial abundance. For those of you that have had like business blocks, or you have had like inspiration blocks, or you've had crappy relationships because they're also reiterating this divine love. Calibrate to the highest timeline possible to understand a love that you don't even know exists, right? It's not something that you've watched. It's something that you've experienced, right? The communication, the balance of self, the where you are able to truly step into your feminine energy. Like very heart-centered, very open, right? Non-guarded, aware, right? Because your life has taught you to be aware, because you've seen both facets of people. You've seen the good in people and you've seen the bad in people. And you've seen the shit people have done out of necessity, and the things that people have done because they thought they were getting away with it, right? It's kind of like understanding all components to building the engine. It's like once you fully understand the self-mastery of the divine, of how the divine has moved in your life with you, without you, right? Because each turn, even though there was impediment, even though there was overtaking in like your cognitive awareness, in your thought patterns, in as they attempted to impede, right? It's like the shift of awareness, because what's happening is like the last will now become first. Like all of those things that have tried to keep you stuck, all those bindings and castings are falling, right? Not because it's anything outside of you. It's because the time has dissipated, right? They got up to a certain point to hold you back. And now it's time for you to break the chains that have bound, and it's time for you to step into the conscious creation. Maybe it's something like, again, you need to do a 3-day fast of like what you're feeling feeding your mind? Are you feeding your mind only high vibe stuff? Are you feeding your mind like stuff that's cognitively aware, that is literally creating your reality? Not the pushed stuff. Like, and you're going to know this, right? Like, cause you're going to start seeing the vibration of people and the way that they're moving, on their channels. It's kind of like maybe you just need to turn off the YouTube or the TV or the phone and really just kind of vibe with your own truth, vibe with your own energy of like what has been unwanted up to this point, and how do you break away and push into a brand new perspective into the point that you want, right? It's to a certain extent, picking your pendulum and picking the paradigm that you want to be focusing on more, right? Because as you fake it, you then become it, right? And then it becomes your reality. And it's not that you lost a part of the who you are, because you're honoring yourself up to the point that you are. You're just choosing not to put focus on it, because when you put focus on it, you're essentially activating that thread of connection and you're pulling more of that reality into you, right? And so I don't know. I mean, you have to have some kind of awareness to a lot of this stuff already. This is not for somebody who just woke up today, and that's initially what I was thinking, but it's not. It's like literally you becoming more aware of like your journey of where you were at the beginning, how your cognitive awareness was impeded, and like the where you are now. And it's the more understanding the back door and the subconscious. Maybe you're going to start looking into like Silva method, because I love his stuff. Once you understand that your thoughts create things, and also like Florence Noble Shin, and Neville, right? Like I really, truly, and they're not on this planet anymore, but it's like their works are so next level, right? And I'm also reading Thomas Troutard, the awareness of the mental science, because what I'm starting to realize is, yes, this has always been a media-ish war. There has been a push to bind your gifts, right? And to work in programming. And so like, if you guys haven't looked into like the gate program, or you haven't started to look at like marketing in the 70s and 80s, like you should go do the research. Because it's kind of like a layer of understanding like where your programs for self were implanted, and where you come into a balancing within self. And again, I mean, this can be a very hypnotic experience. You know, you can realize that there's time gaps. You can have like random ass dreams, like journal your dreams, because it's gonna blow you away of like the insight that you're gonna get, right? So like, again, come to a state where you can truly appreciate yourself, right? Appreciate the journey of where you're at. Don't feed into the thoughts of memory of past, right? Because part of that misconception or time bending or thought bending is to make you think that you're not as powerful of a creator as you are, right? And again, that is a impediment of the enemy. So it's like, how do you get to a state where you understand the balance and the duality of like the things that you've experienced in this lifetime, and then actively choose a higher paradigm where you are winning, where you are not letting the old thoughts of past be you. Where do you enjoy the things that you enjoy, and where are the things that you can enjoy with others, right? Because there's a balance in that duality. Yes, you're going to need time to be insular and think, but if all of your time is spent in thinking mode, then how are you truly interacting and activating with the collective consciousness, right? There has to be that duality within self. And so understanding like where, you know, you still hold those old wounds. And every time they come up, they're going to end up trying to come back into your solar plex. So as you're clearing your energy, and as you notice those energies coming back at you, you pause it, and you can put like a sticky rose. You can put a shield. You can put a blockade. You can put rubber bands, right? Like you can put something out there that is going to push those things out of your field. So they're not going to be able to get back into your field. That's up to you. And use that as a form of your defense mechanism, right? For me, I have the armor of God. I've always relied on, going through and placing that on my field on my Ka body and all the way through to my physical body. And like, I think that that's part of like the what's going to be opening for you as you step into this next phase of your reality, right? Is like being in that divinity, being in that reflectiveness of like, I am love. They just keep saying it's I am love, I am worth being loved, right? And so it's the reiterating that like you are perfect just the way you are. There is nothing else about you that needs to be maimed or impeded, right? It's God made you specifically the way you are right now. And yeah, if you had to learn the tail end of that, of finances, then so be it. But like, how do you step into the vibrational frequency of being truly aligned, of allowing yourself to gain the common knowledge that you need to proceed forward, right? And because you already know the answers, like you already see the answers. And so understanding like the things that have taken away your desires or taken away your hope or made you sit stagnant or impeded your thought form or paused, and you knew it was happening, but you still made a lower vibrational choice. Like honor those choices, right? If anybody has any tightness behind the neck, just honor it. Say, I see you, and it's going to come out of your crown and it's going to release. Good. Yeah, it's through your shift. Some of you may want to get purple flowers. I don't even know what that would be. I don't think lavender is in bloom yet. Mm. Yeah, there's going to be like this massive shift that's going to happen in regards to the way that you perceive your reality, or the way that the reality is perceived by you. Um, it's something big is like going to shift you. So just stay in your heart center and allow yourself to be open to the gains. And where you fall short, don't focus on it, because it's not going to pull into you the vibrational frequency of what you want more of. Every time you dip, honor the dip, but call back to you a higher perspective. and get ready, because there's something energetically that you are going to need your gifts for. And you're coming online right at the right time. If you would like a healing or a reading, all rips, tears, impediments, let's go ahead and pull in that red, almost like a maroon burgundy color, and fill up any of those gaps. If your attention in the back of your head comes back, just identify it, see it, and then tell it to get out of your field. You can always re-listen to the release. I mean, you should feel lighter, brighter, and more in your body. And yeah, if you want, I do have sessions available if you want to do a past life, or if you want to do an energy clearing. All of my information is at HolisticVibes.org. And until next time, be well and ciao.